Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Advancement Center and welcome to the world of magic and miracles. I greet you with smiles and smiles and miles of smiles, because that's the feeling everywhere that's here now. This is the time that has been talked about for ages on the planet, where everything would be made new. Every person would start to remember, and that brings a smile to my face. It's a momentous time in the history of everything. And it's been no small feat to get to this place. And all we can do is smile. The connection with all the beings, with yourself, and with the love for humanity and everything has brought us to this place. And the next generation of children that have arrived on the planet are leading the chorus of fuck 'em. That chorus will destroy and demolish every structure that was ever created to control you. They cannot be manipulated. They will not run to what we ran to. They will not be driven by the lure of the system and how it operated. And whatever they don't destroy, their children will come right behind them with a double dose of fuck 'em. And there'll be no room for any structure to stand. No political system, no financial system, whose purpose it is to control humanity. All flattened by a 2-year-old, flattened by the mouth of a child who could care less. And that's what's coming into each person on the planet. And so the war disappears in that place. And all you're left with is a smile to live your life, to assist others without trying to disappear from the control. You just disappear from it. It's in another world. And your smile is a beacon for anyone who is trapped in that world. So these things are bursting from within inside me. And I believe what we're all experiencing is even more than an outer body experience. We can't truly find the words to have every cell of your body remembering itself, to have every moment fit within your expanded field, every past moment, every present moment, every future moment. And to be bubbling through you. It's fulfillment. And you could explode from the fulfillment of what you waited eons to feel. And so you settle for a smile. And the eyes tell it all. And so we transmit to everyone and to ourselves this is what I've been waiting for. And it comes in so fast. And the next day it's more. Oh no, this is what I've been waiting for. And then there's more. Oh my goodness, this is what I've been waiting for. And the smile grows and the eyes light. And you just beam with a glow. No words, even though I have quite a few. Expansion is happening. And I just want to tell the whole world how good it feels so that you can feel it too. We are almost home, but we are and have always been home. We are experiencing fulfillment while we have always been fulfilled. It is the picture of you and your twin, both traveling, one becoming knowing while the other already is knowing. So there has always been a part of you that knows, while the part that chose to come into this physical plane has had to remember that it already knows. It is a thrilling ride to be on the journey of remembering. There is no greater feeling of those words I spoke earlier. We are expanded, and I just want to tell the whole world. That feeling could not be fully expressed unless I chose to become the knower who would forget and who would, in the greatest joy that could ever be experienced, begin to remember until the day that you and your twin were standing face to face with a smile so big that if it was released into the physical world would burst from the power of the joy of your reunion. You have done this before. Look within, feel within, and know that you have been it all. You have done it all. Yes, there is an element of remembering, which is mostly connected to something happening to you. But what I want to tell you is that with the knowing that you have been it all and done it all, you can take the action of, if you will, flipping a switch to activate the abilities that you have been given for each of the lifetimes you have been here on earth. As I teach tennis, I have become more and more aware that these people already know how to play. That's part of the reason why they have come to it or come back to it. It's something they love because they have done it before. To get them to believe this and activate their knowing is then the only thing that I must do. If you want to call that teaching, that is okay. For me, it is more like transmitting a memory of a mastery of a skill to another master who may have forgot. All the ability is already there. The feel, the timing, the beautiful movement of an athlete. But because we have forgotten that skill and that lifetime, we ask someone to teach us. And we try and learn what we already know. I suppose the process of relearning how to sing or how to dance or how to play a musical instrument makes life worth living, gives you something to look forward to doing, something to achieve. But the truth is, you already know. Sometime in one of your many lifetimes, you were one of the greatest athletes, the greatest actors, the greatest healer, or the greatest scientist on earth. You may or may not have been famous, but you were one of the greatest. Even as I write these words, I marvel at how I can write them in the way that I write them and how I can know the things that I speak of without ever being taught. The simple truth is, I have done this before, and so have you. In another lifetime, in many lifetimes, and now in this lifetime, after 55 years on the planet, it was activated for me once again for a purpose, for my destiny, because it is time. Through our love and patience, we are holding a space for this activation in everyone. We are acting as the mirror to their own magnificence. First, they will begin to remember as a subtle signal weaves its way into their being. Then, when it is the time, they will know, and the fullness of their ability will come back online so that it can be used for the advancement of humanity. That is an important part of this activation. Somewhere within your conscious awareness, you are desiring to serve and to uplift the other and not yourself. This will take you to your true heart's desire and your destiny, and all your abilities will be at your disposal to do the very thing that you have always desired. Now you will say to yourself, I have done this before. And you will help activate others into their own knowing so that they might also joyfully assist in the advancement of humanity. You are awesome, amazing, magnificently bright, knowing all things, one with all things, the source of all light. You have seen it all. You have been it all. And yes, you have done this before. Those two actors, there's always another way, and there's always endless support for each and every one of us. Support that we have all personally experienced, even though we may not have been aware of it. Each moment of every day, We are finding out something new about ourselves through an infinite number of unique channels. Just one thought, one ailment, one worry, one doubt, or one fear can send us spiraling down a rabbit hole of confusion and uncertainty until the cavalry comes in, one of its infinite forms, and pulls us out of the hole, and we find out a little bit more about who we really are. We are simply perfection, living in an imperfect body with an imperfect mind. I only say imperfect because of the influence of programming on the mind and gravity on the body. But in truth, all is perfect in its natural state. There's so much joy inside of us, but it is mostly felt in the space of the life that exists between the body and the mind. Those spaces are getting bigger and lasting longer as we come closer and closer to transcending those two actors that in this physical dimension garner most of our attention. Those two actors cannot enter the space between your body and mind. So when you are there, you don't even know that you are overweight. You don't know that your body is not cooperating. You don't experience worry, doubt, or fear, for you are in the space of your eternal spirit, where there is no space and time, and no body and no mind. Stay there. And when you have to leave, return as quickly as you can, for this is your true home. It is always portrayed that more money and less work would end most of the stress in your life and render those two actors impotent. But nothing could be further from the truth, for no amount of money or momentary peace will stop those two actors from playing their part in your life. In fact, we have come here to transcend them, to surpass their powerful effect. And we can only do this when we are living in that space. We have all experienced this truth and we understand it. But the power of the body and the mind will never yield to your understanding. It is only when we know this truth that we are able to live in that space all the time, and the body and mind have no choice but to yield to our authority as God. Once again, we have changed, we have grown, we have remembered another part of who we are, and we celebrate, even as the next thing is being queued up to enter our life so that we will remember a little bit more. This is the story of the journey of the eternal you. This eternality is the most important thing that you must remember. It is the foundation for the transcendence of those two actors. Without this remembrance and then knowing, you will cling to your life in the physical, and therefore you will also, mostly without awareness, cling to your death. When I was a teenager, I loved to play basketball, and in the summers, I would play 5 hours a day. Then I was introduced to tennis, and I loved it too. I didn't think I could love anything more than basketball, but I began to play 4 hours of basketball and 1 hour of tennis, and then 3 hours of basketball and 2 hours of tennis, then 3 hours of tennis and 2 hours of basketball, and then 4 hours of tennis and 1 hour of basketball. And then one day it was 5 hours of tennis. I never thought that this could happen. I use this story to illustrate how your focus on those two actors, the body and the mind, were your first love, and you played them 5 hours a day. Then you met the space in between, and you fell in love with that space. And you played with the actors 4 hours and the space 1 hour. You are now in the process of, just as I did with basketball and tennis, giving all 5 hours to a new love. And just as that switch between basketball and tennis all those years ago has provided a livelihood for me and my family for a countless number of years, so too will this change bring in a completely new future for you and your family, the family of humanity. So know that you are always supported. It may be happening behind your back while you're not even looking, just so that when you look back, you will be able to tell someone with complete knowing that change is coming and you will grow, and that there is always another way, and that you have found a new love, and so can they, and that the dysfunctional relationship with those two actors has ended for you, and it can also end for them too. Live in the space between the body and mind and go and change the world. The 100th monkey. How can we wish for a better life without thinking of the other 7 billion people on the planet? My comfort is not important to me because I am always comfortable. I am just waiting for all humanity to come to this place of comfort, the place where you know yourself as creator. This is the blanket of truth that is falling upon all mankind. This is the only endless source of wealth and well-being that is necessary. The human resolutions like the RV, Nasera, and Jasera are temporary fixes and will in truth only support a small percentage of the population. The only lasting solution, the only solution that will free you from the sense of lack and need is knowing who you are and becoming aware of the reality of the world of spirit that exists in every crack and crevice of your physical world. This reality exists everywhere, throughout every galaxy and universe and beyond. It is the world of magic and miracles, and it is real. I am a witness of its existence, and so too are you, for you have seen it in action every day of your life. You walk into a room filled with hundreds of people, and you can immediately sense someone who is threatening, who is not there to enjoy life, but is there to destroy life in whatever form they might choose. The scientific community calls this intuition, but they have never been able to define how it works because they cannot. They have made it seem like some random bit of luck. And since it can't be proven by logic, they say that it can't be real. This sensing of energy is just one example of what we do so naturally. It's so natural that it doesn't seem like a big deal and mostly goes unnoticed, unrecognized, unreported, and undocumented. But it's like walking or breathing. It's no big deal. We can do these things with our hands tied behind our back. Please know how amazing you are, how expanded your field is, and how majestic your essence is. You can see who's on the other side of the door before they announce themselves. You know the phone is going to ring before it actually rings, and who is on the other end of the line. You know what people are going to say before they say it. You know the answers to the questions before they are asked. Yet you take no notice of how amazing this is. They, the scientific community, have no answers for how you are able to do these things because the simple answer will change the hierarchy of their position. The simple truth is that you are everywhere and everything all at the same time while still being you. And if you know this, I mean, when you know this, their position of authority will be torn down to the ground. Know that you know everything, can connect with everything, and feel everything. It is the nature of God. which you are a part of, which means you are that too. One at a time, each one is coming to this truth, and as they do, they no longer pass on the false. And one day, very soon, the 100th monkey will take the rest of humanity into this truth as the scales finally tip and a wave of light pours over the earth and everything on it. We are expanding at such an incredible rate. Our field is so vast that it is able to take in the past, present, and future of everything that has ever existed, and yet it can take on even more. Our awareness is expanding so fast that we are bursting at the seams. It's like we just added a gigabyte of memory into our computer, as well as a faster new processor. And all the calculations are being done in light speed, and we can process more data, more color, more sound in the magnificent and indescribable world of spirit. 96 monkeys, 97, 98, 99. Here comes the light, and destiny will be fulfilled. And finally, the words from this song. Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Fish in the sea, you know how I feel. River running free, you know how I feel. Blossom on a tree, you know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for me, and I'm feeling good. Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean. Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean. Sleep in peace when the day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for you and me. Stars when you shine, you know how I feel. Scent of the pine, you know how I feel. Oh, freedom is mine, and I know how I feel. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life. It's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life for you and me. And we're feeling good. We're feeling good. Smiles all around, miles and miles of smiles. Thank you for joining me, everyone. What a life. I wish you that perfect life, perfect health, and a magic future. I am David.